at my sewing machine. And lo and behold, there she is, sleeping under my sewing machine. If you can find her. So we're going to need 3 things to make us a bag. So this is going to be my outside, this is going to be my inside, but we're also going to make it so that it's reversible. And then here is our batting. So we're going to get started, and we want to cut down our outside fabric. Let's trim the side off so it's even. We want an even piece to work with. Yep. Making a salsa. There we go. Now we want 19 and a half. 19 and a half. 19 and a half. Okay, now with the 19 and a half, we want to cut it down into 3s. So that is going to be 6 and a half. Yep. And 6 and a half. Okay, I'm going to cut my other one, and then we'll be back. We'll be back. Okay, so we have them cut in strips. Now, we want to cut 2 of them. We want to line it up, and we want to cut 2 of them. $19 inches long. And we want to cut the other one 15 inches long. So now that we have them cut out, this is the way it's going to lay out. So now, let's cut our handles. Oh, that's too short. Here we go. Now we want to cut our handles try to get this lay flat on 4 inches. So there we go. Now then, what we want to do is we're going to have 2 handles out of this. So we're going to cut it in half. So this is the way I always do it. Just line it up. And cut off just a little bit here. We'll turn it around and we'll cut off the salvage. Now we have our handles. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to put our one piece in the middle. We're going to pass these next two panels up, put them up there, and we're going to get this one, nope, wrong one. This one, sew it to that one, and this one to this one. So, when I get these sewed and these sewed, I'll be back. Okay, before we go to the sewing machine, we want to go 4 inches down. We want to make us a mark on each one. On each one, we want to make us a mark. Then that way, we know where to sew our panel, where to start our panel out to sew. Okay, now for the ironing, we need to iron our handles, and we want to iron them in half. So we're going to fold it in half. Well, if I can do it. There we go, we're getting it. There we go. Okay, we'll fold it in half. And then we're going to open it up, and we're going to fold this side in half. Get it all laid out here. Turn it. I can hold it better going this way. There we go. And then we want to do this side the same way. Fold it in half and iron it down. Let's see if I can go this way with it. There we go. Now then, that we have this part done, we're going to take it to the sewing machine, and we are going to sew this side and this side. Okay, now that we have them sewn, let's take, and we want to go up 6 inches. We want to mark it on each one. 6 inches up. That's not going to work white on white. So we're going to go 6 inches up. Oh no, it broke. Okay, let's see what else we can find. That's all. 6 inches up, mark it on both of them. Now, from 6 inches to 6 inches, see if I can pin it, from here to here, we are going to fold and sew again. So that makes the handle skinnier. And because you're going to have 2 of these, and it will make it a whole lot more feel better on your grip. So, whenever I get done with that, we'll be back. Okay, after we have our straps done, like this, we want to get 2 pieces the scrap that we have, and we want to cut it down. We want to leave it the length that it is. This right here. Let's see if you can see it. Yeah, you can. Okay, so we want to cut it down to 3 inches. Because they're both the same because it's our scraps. So this is what we want. Now we want to take it over to the sewing machine. And we want to sew on 3 sides, leaving an opening so we can turn it right. And also, we want to go ahead and do our decorative stitch. Now that we have this sewn all the way around and we have got our opening, now we want to put a buttonhole. We want 2 buttons that has the little loops in the back. Can you see? Yeah, you can right there. We want 2 of those. So now we need to go and we need to put our buttonhole in. So the way that I do it is I put it on my right here, and then I take and I go 1 inch up, and I put me a mark, and then I go halfway in the middle, okay, and then I put me another mark from that mark going up about 1 inch. So can you see here the button? So the button will be able to go into it. Yeah, okay. So you see, I may have to go a little bit more from this buttonhole. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more. But you could tell how I was doing it. Now that you got your buttonhole, just take your seam ripper, push it in there, and then cut down. So then therefore it made your hole for your button. And I didn't make it big enough.
Mommy,
or I didn't cut it. I didn't cut it all the way. Let me cut it all the way. It's kind of hard to do it like that. Okay. So see here. Now then, it goes in. So now I'm going to fix this thing up over here and show you what I did. Alrighty, our next step is we're going to want to put in our straps. So now remember our straps, hello kitty, is how we did them. So we want to make sure that we have them both the same way. Now the way I generally do it is I go down, she's okay, and I measure 2 inches and I mark 2 inches.
Get back.
Okay?
Get back.
Now then, I want to put them,
Back.
okay, now after I mark them, I want to put them in here. I want to put one over here, and I put my mark where I want my seam to be. And then I put it close to the edge, and I pin it down. And now we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, let me get this line back up. There we go. Down a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to pin it down. Now, with the button thing, we want it the opposite of what we have. Like we have this one, we want this one to be laying right on top of it. And we want to also draw some line, which is an inch. So now we're going to put our thing in there, and we're going to want to put it where our sewing line is going to be. And then we want to pin it. And we want to do the handle on the other side the same way. Okay, after we get done sewing it, we're going to want to trim it up. So all I'm doing is I'm going and I'm just trimming off where we need to cut down to. So that we will be able to turn it around. Okay, I'm going to get my scissors for this tack. There we go. Now we're going to trim this one off. And now we want to make sure we trim our little corner here, because we want to be able to have good corners when we do it. Well, eyeball it. Yes, eyeball it. Now, on these right here in the middle, we need to cut almost to the seam line, but don't cut through the seam line, so that we can make them look good. Alright, now let's go for the unveiling and turning. I'll be right back. Okay, now that we've got it turned, we want to pin up our clothesline here. Now, we want to take it to the sewing machine, and we want to stitch all the way around each block individual. That will give it a nice decorative stitch. And it'll also cover this up, even though this side will be covered up again, but we need to sew this up to make sure it stays closed and looks good. Okay, now that we have our bag sewed up in all three panels, we want to put it in half like this, and we want to sew a zigzag stitch all the way down on both sides, a zigzag stitch. You could put a pretty stitch here if you'd like, just as long as it's a zigzag and it holds them both together. Okay, now that we have that done and all, we want to take and we want to lay it flat this way, like this. Let me get this over here, like this. Let's turn it this way. Yes, we can still do it that way. And we want to put this on the line. And now we want to go up 2 inches. And, oh, there it is. And we want to draw a line on this one. And pin it. And do the other side the same way. And go and sew that. And then after that, we'll be back. Okay, our bag is just about done except for sewing the buttons on. When you sew the buttons on, you want to make sure you get them both in the same spot to be able to button this on. But other than that, you have a flat bottom, and you can carry it on this side, Or the way I want it is to have it on this side. This is the side that I am looking for. So now, I'll sew my buttons on and I'll be done.